Omni Coalition, please check the underbar the description below. Sorry, I guess I'm having some kind of brain fart or something today. I am rather tired. Anyway, yeah, I am Xander, and you viewer are you. Today is Tears Day, aka Tuesday, October 10th, 2023. Let's jump into the history today, shall we? Starting us off in the year 354, Roman Emperor Constantinus gave grand circus and theater show to mark 30th year of his reign as Caesar in Arles. Alright. So yeah, gladiatorial games and whatnot. You know, keep the people entertained, keep them fed, keep them distracted from the politics that's happening, that's causing collapses of the empire. Kind of like what's going on today. Anyway, 680, Al-Hussein Ibn and his followers killed at Karbala by the army of Yazid, the Umayyad Caliph, on the way to Kufa. Well, that's, yeah, on the way, that sucks. 732, Battle of Tours, Umayyad army led by Abdul Rahman al-Kahafiki, defeated by Frankish Aquitanian force led by Charles Martel during Umayyad invasion of Gaul. I swear, I have a better time pronouncing Middle Eastern things than I do, like, Old English and French. I don't know. 1375, Westfriese seawall broke, flooding northern Netherlands. Why can't I read right today? 1549, Duke of Somerset was fired as Lord Protector and then imprisoned. So he did something very bad. Like, you're fired and also you're going to jail. What? In 1684, advisement to view a rhinoceros in a tavern in Ludgate Hill, London, published. First rhinoceros in Europe since 1515. Well, that's interesting. Rhinoceri were not a common thing in Europe, I guess. But they have them in zoos now, I believe. 1695, King William III escaped South Netherlands back to England. I guess, yeah, that's right. I think he was captured during a battle or something, and he got out. So, all right. 1720, French government proclaimed strike on banknotes. 13 years later, France declared war on the Holy Emperor Charles VI. Holy Roman Emperor Charles VI. 1760, surnamed colonial regime signed treaty with Auctioneers, ex-slaves. So that's interesting. The former slaves now signing treaties and whatnot. That's pretty cool. 1780, Great Hurricane of 1780 killed 20,000 to 30,000 in the Caribbean, hitting Barbados first. This is the Atlantic's deadliest recorded hurricane. Wow, that's a lot of people. 1787, Amsterdam surrendered to the Prussian invasion army. Yep. And 1802, we have the first non-Indian settlement in Oklahoma, so non-Native American. You know, like those Indians, not the India Indians, the Native American Indians. 1839, British troops under General Charles Napier occupied Beirut. Huh. That's pretty interesting. What were we doing out in Beirut back then? Yep, right here. 1845, Naval School, now called the U.S. Naval Academy, opened at Annapolis. All right. 1846, Alexis de Tocqueville wrote about Algerian problem, and that's an interesting way to talk about them. Sounds very Hitler-esque. So, 1846 as well, Neptune moon's Triton discovered by William LaSalle. That's cool. And 8 years later, 1854, U.S. Assay Office in New York City, New York opened. What U.S. Assay? What is an assay? I know what an essay is. I know what an essay is, but assay commission, huh? What is this? The function was to supervise the annual testing of the gold, silver, and in its final years, base metal coins produced by the United States Mint. Okay, so quality control, essentially. That's interesting. Cool. What else do we got here? Oh, and of course, for further reading on that subject matter, this link, I'm going to post all collected links in the underbar of the description below after the live stream. Moving on up to 1865, John Wesley Hyatt patented the billiard ball made from cellulose nitrate, celluloid, in Albany, New York, patent US 50359A. All right, billiards, pool. Awesome. 3 years later, 1868, we have the first written account of a Canadian football game. Now, I wonder if that's, like the hand egg football or the soccer football. Well, let's do a surface level scratch on what potentially might be a rabbit hole of information. Okay, just history. The Montreal Alouettes. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, it was the Alouettes. Cool. Moving on up, 1868, Cuba revolted for the independence against Spain. Or for independence against Spain. Yeah, I'm just going to open up this link, because I'm curious. What kind of a football? I didn't really answer that. Okay, this is soccer, I believe. So I'm just going to add this in the underbar of the description section. That was bugging me. What else do we have? 1871, the Great Chicago Fire was finally extinguished after 3 days, leaving approximately 300 dead, 100,000 homeless, and costing $222 million in damage. I don't even want to begin to start, like... okay, let's see here. 1871, 222 million. 222 million would be 5 billion 586 million $866,557.38 today. Holy crap, dude. That is a lot of money. Billions in damage. Oh, it would be even more so today with the amount of damage if that happened again today, which I hope it doesn't, of course. 1874, Fiji became a British possession. Alright. 1886, first dinner jacket, a tuxedo worn to Autumn Ball at Tuxedo Park, New York. And yeah, actually, I looked this up last year. I remember this. This is where the tuxedo got its name, from Tuxedo Park. And, like, it got the design based off of this dinner jacket, first dinner jacket. So, 1888, teetoters excursion train crushed, killing 64 at Mud Run, Pennsylvania. What? What does that even mean? Like, a train was crushed and a mountain fall on it or something? With Mud Run disaster. Huh. Wow, look at that. They did get crushed. Jeez. Well, there you go. Like, whatever the Mud Run was, it sounds like some kind of sport or some kind of something. Or maybe it's like the Kessel Run. You know, it's an area of transit. I don't know. 1889, Barnard College was founded in New York City after Columbia University refused to accept women. Oh, man, Columbia University. I wonder if they're going to get canceled now for things that they did in the past, because that makes sense. 1892, entire Hong Kong national cricket team died in a shipwreck off Taiwan. Oh, that sucks. 1899, black U.S. inventor Isaac R. Johnson patented the bicycle frame. Awesome, awesome. Bicycles. I just realized the joke potential out of that. 1900, foreign ministers in Peking began their first serious negotiations over what conditions their nations will impose on the Chinese after putting down the Boxer Uprising. So that's interesting. We also have in Manchuria, Russia captured the major city of Mukden, part of their own plan to take over the whole province. Yep, Russia had taken over Manchuria and all that stuff during the end of the Second World War. After Japan had actually surrendered, Russia was still trying to... They still went for like a week or so before it would be considered, okay, like, this is enough. Like, and then they stopped. But they took a lot of land after Japan, like, just crumbled. What else do we have here? 1902, a U.S. outlaw Tom Horn's murder trial began, and he was eventually found guilty and sentenced to death. Alright. This guy. 1903, the Women's Social and Political Union was formed by Emmeline Pankhurst to fight for women's rights in Britain. Hell yeah. I wonder if, like, because I remember if you ever see Mary Poppins, like the wife has like all, she's like all dressed up. She has like a ribbon thing around her, and like they're all like marching for suffrage and all that stuff, and that's really like. They really, had some things to complain about back then, and the hardships that they had back in the day were serious, and a lot of which were life-threatening depending on certain things. But they really fought the fight, and impressive. What else do we got here? 1904, Boston pitchers achieve 148 complete games on AL record, also recorded for total complete games AL 1098, National League 1089. Oh, so the last two digits just got flipped. 1904 as well, Liberty Theater opened at 234 West 42nd Street, New York City. All right. 1911, Chinese revolutionaries began an armed rebellion against the ruling Qing dynasty in Wuchang, causing the viceroy of Huanggang to flee the city. This is Taiwan's national day. All right. Well, actually, not all right. You know, they got forced out of mainland China. So, 1913, Gamboa Dam in Panama blown up. Atlantic and Pacific waters mix. Interesting. Huh, so they had that dam to... Hold on a second, let me see here. Gamboa Dam in Panama. Let me look at that. Images. Ah. Alright. So that it was right there. Where would the maps be? Let's check this out here. Okay, so I guess it was like this area was dammed and they blew it up so the waters mix. Yeah. Yeah. Or something. I don't know. Anyway, what else do we have here? 1913 as well, Yuan Shikai installed as the first president of China. And that's Taiwan, China. 1916, in Game 3, Charlie Ebbets became the first owner to raise the price of World Series grandstand seats from $5 up from $3. Well, that's not nice. 3 years later, 1919, Richard Strauss and Hugo van Hofmannsthal's opera Die Frau ohne Schatten, The Woman Without a Shadow, premiered in Vienna, Austria. And that's an interesting name, The Woman Without a Shadow. Huh. I'd like to see that. 1920, Cleveland Indians outfielder Elmer Smith hits baseball's first ever World Series Grand Slam, and teammate Bill Wambsganss made the first unassisted World Series triple play in Game 5. Cool. Italy annexed South Trito, Alto Adige, 1920 as well, and then Phoenix Cardinals, who were then in Chicago, played their first NFL game with a 0-0 tie. 1 year later, 1921, NFL Decatur Staleys became Chicago Staleys, and they won 14-10. And that's 1921. I'm here. 1928, Chiang Kai-shek became director of the State Council of China. Yep. 1930, AP voted Joe Cronin unofficial American League MVP, and BWA named Hank Wilson National League MVP. All right. We also have in 1930, MLB New York Yankees announced signing former Chicago Cubs manager Joe McCartney to manage for 4 years. All right. 365 days later, A.J. Bennett hit H. Garabino for first scoring pass in Canada's Big Four in 1931. 1932, Jinjiper Dam in USSR put into operation. It was the world's biggest. Let's take a look at that. Jinjiper, however you pronounce it, dam. Images. Let's see here. That's a damn big dam. Although it looks like it got breached. Oh, it got blown up. Okay. So, yeah, rip the dam. 1933, we have the first synthetic detergent, Dreft, by Procter & Gamble, went on sale. 2 years later, the League of Nations denounced Italian invasion of Abyssinia. Yeah. And then 3 years after that, 1938, Germany completed its annexation of Czechoslovakia's Sudetenland. Yeah. 1938 as well, premiere performance of Dmitri Shostakovich's first string quartet. And 1941, RAF bombed Piraeus to prevent German heavy armor advancing. While that was happening in World War II as well, the Battle of Moscow, Germans' Wehrmacht forces encountered stronger than expected resistance at the Moltke line west of Moscow. 1942, 1,300 Austrian Jews were transported to Theresienstadt concentration camp. Yeah. And 43, U.S. bombers accidentally strike Eschendale, Netherlands, causing 151 deaths. The fog of war. You know, even to this day, friendly fire incidents and such do happen. You know, it's like there's no exact fail-safes. And, you know, if we have satellites, you know, like, I think we satellites can be hacked into. So, like, you know, I think during wartime, maybe we might, like retard the effectiveness intentionally. Like, it'll affect us, yes, but it'll disable the enemy from fully knowing everything, because, you know, having everything uncovered for us is a benefit, but that would give the enemy the ability to see it as well, and it would benefit them more than it would benefit us, because then they can use that to hurt us. So, Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. I don't know. Like, anyway, what else do we have? 1946, Max Frisch's play at Die Chimisches Maru, The Chinese Wall, premiered in Zurich. It also sounds interesting. Moving on up to 1948, then record 86,288 people saw Game 5 of World Series in Cleveland. And then 1954, first National Film Awards in India, Shyamishi I won the Golden Lotus. Cool. 1954, Ho Chi Minh entered Hanoi after withdrawal of French troops. Yep, before our involvement. 2 years later, Fazal Mahmood took 13 to 114 for match versus Australia in Karachi. And that sounds like cricket. 1956. Yep, cricket. Cricketer. Cricket. I gotta get a soundboard of that. 1957, a fire at the Windscale nuclear plant in Cumbria, England, became the world's first major nuclear accident. Whoa. So, dang it, England. It was a British guy, too, who leaked the bomb to the Ruskies as well. 1957, a fire at the... We got that as well. U.S. President Eisenhower apologized to the finance minister of Ghana, Kamala Agbili Gibidima, after he was refused service in a restaurant in Dover, Delaware. 1959, Happy Town closed at 84th Street, New York City, or 84th Street Theater, New York City, after 5 performances. I guess it wasn't really that happy. 1959 as well, Lee Harvey Oswald signed the guest book in Hotel Helsinki. Now he's all the way over there. And we also have Pan Am began regular flights around the world. Cool. 1 year later, 1960, 16 California Poly football team members died in a plane crash in Toledo. Yikes. So we have 2 disasters now. It was a Chinese ping pong team died in a boat crash. And now we have the California Poly football team ties in a plane crash. That's interesting. I wonder if there's another incident like that happened on the state that I didn't catch. While that was happening, a cyclone hit the coast of the Gulf of Bengal, causing about 4,000 deaths. And Rod Stewart of Ottawa rushed for a CFL record 287 yards, which I wonder if that's still a record or what. If anybody knows, please let us know in the comments. We also have 1961 expansion draft to stock Houston Astros and New York Mets. Okay, whatever that means. The Bob Newhart Show, a variety TV show, premiered on NBC in the U.S. on this date in 1961, October 10th. 1962, the Indies assault up Chinese positions in North India attack. Oh yeah, so the Indies. I'm in 1960. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, some more border disputes between India and China right there. 1963, From Russia with Love, the second James Bond film based on a novel by Ian Fleming, starring Sean Connery and Daniela Bianchi, premiered in London. We also have a U.S. chemist and anti-nuclear weapons campaigner, Linus Pauling, won the Nobel Prize, or Nobel Peace Prize, the same day as the first nuclear test treaty came into effect. And that it cannot be by coincidence. And this guy again, like it looks like, because you see his tie right here. Here, let me bigger that image right there. You see his tie, and he has this, and it looks like a noose. But like it just goes up here and it rolls over his collar and it goes down. What is that? Like, is that one of those like epaulet things that, that you see on like officer uniforms, or what? Why is there a rope there? What's going on? Look, is it behind his tie? I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, like 1963, France ceded control of the Bizerti naval base to Tunisia. And Netherlands population hit 12 million. Awesome. 12 million Netherlandians, or whatever you guys call yourselves. 1964, the 18th Summer Olympics, the Games, opened in Tokyo, Japan. 1965, Drat the Cat opened at Martin Beck Theater, New York City for 8 performances. Just 8. Just one digit. I would have liked to see that. That sounds like a really cool play. 1965 as well, Vinland map was introduced by Yale University as being the first known map of America drawn in about 1440. So, wow, even before 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. So that's like 50 years, that's 52 years before that. How did they know? That's interesting. We also have the Supremes appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show. And the Beach Boys in 1966 released their influential single Good Vibrations. Good vibrations. Yeah, that song. 1968, George Harrison formed Sing Song Limited. And 1969, Jesus Christ, Superstar soundtrack album by Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice was recorded. Yeah, back when I was in high school, I went and saw my my drama teacher. I was the only student that went to go see her play. She was in a production of Jesus Christ Superstar on roller skates, and she still gave me bad grades. She was a piece of crap. So anyway, what else do we have here? 1970, Fiji gained independence from Britain. National Day. Let's give them a cheer. And my voice is cracking. Oh God, now I sound like that guy from The Simpsons. Like, oh no, or oh gee, Rick, I'm like Morty. This is why you hydrate, because it'll cause your voice to crack. What else do we have? 1973, U.S. Vice President Spiro Agnew resigned after pleading no contest to allegations of tax fraud. Yep. And if anybody ever sees Futurama, the Vice President of the head of Richard Nixon, the thing that goes, it's the body of this guy, Spiro Agnew. 1974, the A's, Mike Andrew filed $25 million lawsuit against Charlie Finley. Dang. Canadian John Hathaway began a 2-year ride of 50,600 miles. Hell yeah. A bicycle ride, I think. Not sure. 1974 as well, the Irish National Liberation Army, INLA, and its political wing of the Irish Republican Socialist Party, IRSP, founded at the Spa Hotel in the village of Lucan near Dublin. Alright. More trouble stuff. While that was happening, U.S. General George Brown's speech deplored Jewish influence in U.S. over his treatment during the 1973 World Series. Okay, that's an interesting thing. Let me look that up, actually. Like, was he mistreated or something? What's going on with this? Regrets. Oh, he regrets the remarks on Jews. Okay. Well. Well, this is the New York Times, and it sounds like it's spinning something. I'm not sure. If anybody has any more information on this, please let us know in the comment section. I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole. It might lead to, like, taking a side. And I don't like not having all viewpoints possible, which is an impossible feat during a live show. 1975, Israel formally signed protocol for the Sinai II Agreement Accord with Egypt and Jerusalem. Yep. 1975 as well, Ken Russell's surreal biographical musical comedy film Listeromania, starring Roger Daltrey as 19th century Hungarian composer Franz Liszt, and soundtrack arranged by progressive rock keyboardist Rick Wakeman, premiered. 1 year later, 1976, Beijing reported arrest of Mao Zedong's widow. That's right after he died. They removed her, and I think they tortured her, killed her. I'm not sure. But, they got rid of everything Maoism. So, 1976 as well, Greece's 98-year-old Dimitrion Yordandinis is oldest man to complete in a marathon. He finished in 7 hours and 33 minutes. It has to be? Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, 7 hours, 33 minutes for a 98-year-old. Okay, good, cool. 1978, Aerosmith Steve Tyler and Joe Perry injured by a cherry bomb. Cherry bomb. Yeah, no, those things are explosive, like they will take your hand off if you don't let them go. 1978, British pop magazine Smash Hits was first published. Alright. 1978 as well, Daniel Arap Moi succeeded Jomo Kenyatta as president of Kenya, ruling for 24 years. Cool. While that was happening, U.S. Congress approved a dollar coin honoring women's suffrage campaigner Susan B. Anthony. I have a few of those. 1979, Nordique's Rio Cloyter set NHL record of a hat trick in first game. Panama assumes sovereignty over the canal area, i.e. the canal zone, but that doesn't necessarily mean the canal itself. The actual waters is still U.S., I believe. Like, it's very, very, like the Panama, they have the zone, but the actual waters is still U.S., and, I don't know. Like, it's very, very, lawyer speak. 1979 as well, record trace of snow in Central Park, New York City. All the way as early as October. Interesting. 1 year later, 1980, 4,500 people die when a pair of earthquakes struck northwest Algeria. Yikes. We also have the Very Large Array, the VLA radio telescope network dedicated. 1 year later, Anwar Sadat's funeral service was held in Cairo. Where are we? Here we go. Yeah, this guy. So, President of Egypt and Nobel laureate, Anwar Sadat. And I'll be right back. Something just flew into my eye. So, give me one moment. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Oh, shit. Almost broke my glasses trying to retrieve them. Anyway, where are we? 1982, Pope John Paul II canonized Rev. Maximilian Kolbe, who volunteered to die in place of another inmate at Auschwitz concentration camp, a saint. That is incredible. Like, you know, the Holocaust did happen. It did happen, you know, like, and people suffered. But yeah, wow. I am awestruck. You know, I read this thing. You know, I read this a year ago. I read this 2 years ago. Like every time though, it's just the selflessness. You know, and like just some people out there really are saints. So, 1982 as well. U.S. imposed sanctions against Poland for banning Solidarity Trade Union. And then 3 years later, 1985, Sudan adopted interim constitution. Cool. 85 as well, U.S. fighter jets forced Egyptian plane carrying hijackers of Italian ship Achille Lauro to land in Italy. Gunmen were placed in custody. Alright, so it wasn't a firefight. Good. 86 as well, 7.5 earthquake struck San Salvador, El Salvador. And then 1990, U.S. Petroleum Institute API, or American Petroleum Institute API, reported crude inventories dropped by more than 4 MMB in the last week. I have no idea what MMB is. And 365 more days after that, ex-postal worker Joseph Harris killed 4 postal workers. So, like, you know, the term going postal. And apparently it happened multiple times. Postal workers, ex-postal workers just snapping. And it really goes to show, like, you know, the workload on these people is staggering, and they need to be treated better, you know, paid more, like you know, all across the board, like everybody needs better, you know. We like, I mean, like, you know, case in point, it was just recently passed in California that all all restaurants, all food service, you know, businesses must pay minimum wage $20 an hour. That's minimum. Everything else is still like 15 or 16. But if in the food industry, it's $20 period minimum wage. Now, that's of course going to like cause prices to go up. A lot of people to lose their jobs and get replaced by machines like McDonald's has already been doing for several years now. And here's the thing, like In-N-Out, you know, it is a big company and all, but it's not like, you know, McDonald's or Burger King or Carl's Jr. or you know, Hardee's or Jack in the Box or any of that. It's not corporate like that. It's actually still family owned. And yesterday I went and had a burger there. You know, I went and I picked up 2 double doubles and an order of fries, and it came out to like $11 and something. And for that, you know, roughly around that same amount, about a month ago, I went to Carl's and I ordered just 2 big hamburgers, just plain old, you know, like patty, pickles, mustard, ketchup, diced onions. That's it. Okay, you know, I get 2 of those for the same price as I get for 2 double doubles, you know, with lettuce, pickles, you know, tomato, onion if you want it, sauce, you know, and an order of fries for the same price. And then I also realized that years ago, In-N-Out actually increased their minimum wage to $20 an hour, like already a while ago, I believe. So that is proof right there that these CEOs of these mega corporations, like, they can afford to pay their employees. They can afford to have more employees. They just want to buy another yacht, another mega million, you know, mansion, another private jet, you know, another section of Maui. Don't forget like the people of Lahaina are still getting screwed. Don't forget about them. So sorry about that rant. Just wanted to talk about oh man, we that was a hell of a rant. Started off as postal workers. Treat people as people is what I'm saying, guys. We're all humans on this world together. Anyway, 1991 as well. Greyhound bus ended bankruptcy, and U.S. cut all foreign aid to Haiti. Ugh. 2 years later, 1993, ferry boat left for west coast of South Korea, 120 killed. Now, I want to know what the hell happened here. Like, did they sink? Did they get missiled? Like, what? Korean were killed. What happened? The sinking of the MV Seohae? Accidents. Okay. So it did, like, strike something. So, and it's not a lot here to read, but I'll just post a link here anyway. We got to move on up here. 1993, NFL Cleveland Browns Najee Mustafa set club record for longest interception, 97 yards. 1994, MPAA Chief Jack Valenti held meeting to determine new movie ratings. Huh. We also had the New York Giants retire Lawrence Taylor's number 56 jersey, or uniform or whatever. 1994 as well. Value of the Russian ruble decreased 3,081 rubles per dollar. That is a very big decrease. 1 year later, Israel began West Bank pullback, freeing hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. Yep. Well, that's very relevant to today's happenings. What's going on right now? 1995, most Dutch telephone numbers increased to 10 digits. Whoa. Well, technically we're at 10. Are we actually? Area code 123. So that's 6. So 123, 123, and then 4. So that's 10. And we're at 11 if you put in the 1 before the area code, if that's still mandatory. I'm not sure. I don't know. 1996 as well. Cornerstone dedication for Holocaust Museum in New York City. I think I've been there. I'm not sure. I wanted to go there, check it out. 2002, former cricketer Imran Khan elected to the Pakistani parliament after winning the seat of Min Wali the first. 1 year later, 2003, Shirin Ebadi was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for her significant and pioneering efforts for democracy and human rights, making her the first Iranian Muslim woman to receive the prize. Hell yeah. And that was 2003. Where are you? Her. Yes. All right. 2004, having already clinched the record, or his record, 7th F1 World Drivers' Championship, German Ferrari driver Michael Schumacher won a record 13th race of the season with victory over the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. Hell. 2005, negotiations between the CDU, CSU, and SPD in Germany concluded with the two parties agreeing to form a grand coalition with Angela Merkel as chancellor after both parties lost seats in the 2005 German federal election. Political maneuvering and trickery, it sounds. 2008, Singapore became the first Asian country to slip into a recession since the credit crisis began. Growth has faltered as a result of less demand for exports, a reduction in tourism, and the end of the real estate boom. 1 year later, 2009, after closed borders for nearly 200 years, Armenia and Turkey signed protocols in Zurich to open their borders. Wow, that's a big shift right there. 2010, the Netherlands Antilles dissolved, or were dissolved. The Netherlands Antilles. What were those? Let's see here. You know what? Let me just copy and paste this. Dissolution of the Netherlands Antilles. It was an autonomous Caribbean country within the Kingdom of the Netherlands. It was dissolved on October 10th, 2010. Well, all right. So, yeah, it was a colony, I guess. That's interesting. The Netherlands had a colony in the Caribbean. Who knew? 1915, bombing at a peace rally in Ankara, Turkey killed at least 95 people, injuring an additional 200. Yeah. And don't forget her. We spoke about her yesterday. She got shot at. She was still a kid going to high school. So, 2016, actress Shailene Woodley was arrested for trespassing while protesting against proposed Dakota Access Pipeline. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. 2018, Hurricane Michael made landfall near Mexico Beach in Florida. That's a interesting beach, as a Category 4 hurricane with winds of 155 miles per hour or 250 kilometers per hour, going on to kill 227 people, having killed 15 in Central America. Yikes. 2019, the 2018 Nobel Prize for Literature awarded to Polish writer Olga Tokarczuk after a year's delay due to Swedish Academy scandal. So I have no idea what was going on with that. 2019, 3,500 women were the first to be allowed to attend a football match in Iran for a World Cup qualifier in Tehran since the Islamic Revolution. All right. 2020, just 3 years ago, French Open women's tennis 19-year-old Iga Swiatek of Poland won her country's first singles major title, defeated U.S. Sofia Kenin 6-4, 6-1. Where are you? Right here. There we go. And last but not least, 2021, Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen says country will not bow to Chinese pressure in defiant speech on Taiwanese National Day, day after President Xi Jinping vowed to fulfill reunification. There was never a unification. Like, Taiwan is not yours, man. Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. All of these will be added in after this live stream, of course. But yeah, our link tree has links to our video sharing and streaming sites, social networking, and affiliates. Go check it out. Go check them out. Anyway, for your post of Passive and Stanley, we stream every day at 11 in the morning Pacific time, which is 12 Mountain, 1 Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I am A.O. Xander, and you are you until you catch us on Friday. Or if you're interested in some notable events, weather and sports, the Omni Coalition News Show might be coming up later on today at 3 p.m. Pacific time. It depends on how much news there is. And I try not to cover anything mainstream, so I will not be talking about this Israel stuff. So, yeah, I'm stepping away from that. But yeah, anyway, until you see us next time, be it later today or Friday, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe.